Hello everybody, it's a wow moment. Words of wisdom from Two Shoes. I'm thankful for the vowel's sake. God the Father has allowed the veil to be torn. For the word says in Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 19 that we've got access to go into the Holy of Holies through the blood of the mediator, and that is Jesus. He is our high priest. And in Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 20, God hath chosen a new and a living way. God has consecrated this way for us. And the way is that the veil was torn. And he is referring to saying of the flesh. Jesus' body was broken. His blood was shed to give us access. We don't have to go through a priest anymore. Jesus is the high priest, and we can go boldly to the throne, and we can make our petitions known before a holy God. Now, when Jesus was crucified on the cross, there was an earthquake that took place. And the veil, that little sheet, it was placed over a cross beam. And the cross beam was about 30 feet long, and it weighed more than 30 tons. Now the sheet that was placed over that cross beam, it was about 60 feet long, and it was about 30 feet in width. And there was such thick layers that was placed over it, woven layers, that it was like the thickness of a man's hand. It was not easy to tear this veil. It was supernatural because when the earthquake took place, the cross beam that the veil was placed over, it was ripped. It was broken into two pieces because of the earthquake. And also the sheet, the veil, was torn in half. And it was ripped from the top to the bottom, which lets you know that man had nothing to do with tearing it, because if man would have torn it, it would have been torn from the bottom to the top. Now in Jewish customs, it was known for a father who was grieving over the death of his son. He would tear his clothes. And that could be symbolic to God the Father grieving over the death of his only begotten Son. Remember, God the Father turned his head, and great darkness came upon the land because Jesus was taking all of sin, of humanity, onto himself. And God the Father does not like sin, and he turned his face away from it as Jesus, who knew no sin, became sin so that we that are sinners could become the righteousness of God. I'm thankful today to know, for the vowel's sake, the veil has been torn. May God richly bless you today and every day.